What's up, y'all? It's your host, Sensei AK. I'm back on another episode. I just realized I have not recorded one of these by myself in like the past 2 years. So I decided to come on here and actually yap to y'all. So I usually take this time to yap on my TikTok at Sensei AK everywhere. It's pretty it's very much a cathartic thing for me to just come on come out here and just yap with y'all. So hey, how y'all been? I haven't got a chance to actually say nothing to y'all without somebody here, so no, it's fun. I'm glad y'all here. Well, if y'all clicked on this video, thank you very much. My name is Ikechukwu, the host of the Dojo Podcast, and welcome to this wild rants. Is this gonna be rants? I think I'm just gonna come on here and rant. So an idea that I was thinking about the other day, since I haven't recorded by myself in so while, I wanted to reset the meta for everyone that's new here. So this video, I'm gonna talk about all the stuff that I've just started to love, like out of nowhere. So here we go. So one of the things I've been really enjoying is, I don't know if y'all can see this outside the frame, but hey, boxing. So I've been boxing now for the past 3 months. Yeah, I've been boxing around for about 3 months, and there's been a couple reasons why I started. One, I feel like I was usually a basketball and just heavy lifting type of guy, but I've just came to the realization that's not the type of physique that I'm really trying to conquer with this life, because I feel like when it comes to just lifting, the broadness kind of shows itself really quickly, especially for myself, because I feel like when I take a break from lifting, once I get back, I get those newbie gains like immediately, and I just don't like having my upper body a lot bigger than my bottom half. So yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why I started. But also, okay, quick story time. So why is my legs? new chair for all y'all that's watched previous episodes. So quick story time. So this is in October. This is around October. Whenever this comes out is whenever it comes out. Don't blame me. It's scheduling. So in October, Halloween was a 2-weekend spectacle. So if y'all have been seeing all the memes, October, well, this year, Halloween was technically like a 2-weekend type of thing. Okay, so the actual Halloween day was the 31st, but the weekend of the 31st was Thursday was 31st. The 1st of November was the Friday and the Saturday. So do you know what that means? We get two. We just get two weekends to dress up as slutty as we want, to be outside with the hus. It's a great time where you could be your deepest, darkest, wildest cartoon characters. I have a whole segment about why Halloween was just an excuse for us to really deep dive into our childhood crushes. That's the gist of it all. So like I was saying, we get 2 weekends. So that means some people were celebrating the 24th, 25th, 26th, and then some people were celebrating the 31st, the 1st, and the 2nd of November. It was wild. I've never seen such... The last time I've seen such drinking, I was a junior in college, and people were just... Actually, no. I have not seen drinking like this ever since my freshman year of college, when folks got outside their parents' house and they were just going wild. Not me though. That's not on me. That's on me. That's not me. Mom and Dad, I think you guys watch my show, but ow. So as the weekend was going, we had to decide which weekend are me and my friends going to be going out and really like going to town. Because this year I had both weekends off because I traded shifts, because I thought, hey, the 26th and the 27th, I'm only in my early 20s once. I might as well go outside and have fun with people. So I traded off my shift, so I got a chance to actually go outside and have fun. It was wild. It was wild. So the 26th and 27th, people were allegedly dressing up. Me and my friends didn't think that people were gonna dress up, but I'm like, it's Halloween. Why wouldn't they dress up? Last year I went as the Dark Knights. Yes, it was nice. I had like the muscle pecs and everything. It was actually a great time. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I was dressed in toe and back like the Bats. It had no pockets, so I was literally walking around with phone in this hand, ID and card in my boots. I had special Batman once. I was wearing like a Doc Martin, but my costume came with little like cover shoes, so it looked like I was wearing like some pointy elf shoes. It was a great time. So it's me and my friends. My friend, he not runs per se, but he performs at a whole lot of clubs and bars and things of that nature. So at the club that he usually hosts, he's like, hey, let's go out for this weekend. There's gonna be an artist that's showing up. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be fun. Everyone's gonna be partying. So I'm like, are people gonna be wearing their costumes? He said, maybe. Here's some good context for everyone that doesn't know. This is probably one of the blackest bars. It's probably one of the blackest bars in Minnesota. So, as you know, it's definitely a 50-50 to see if people are going to actually dress up. My friends didn't dress up. It's me and my girl. We're dressed up as Batman and Catwoman. And she's like, I don't think people are going to dress up. So she's wearing her outfits, and basically, when it comes to dressing like Catwoman, the only thing that makes you different from Catwoman and just a regular outfit is the ears. So she just takes off the ears and she's just ready to go. She's holding all my stuff. It's fun. We're outside, right? It is so cold that weekend. I'm shivering. I'm upset because no one wants to be on time for anything. Nothing was being coordinated correctly. And by the time that we actually get to the club, I missed out on key details. Me and my girl, we go into different clubs, right? So we go to different clubs to go meet our friends back at his club because of like, hey, we're gonna dress up and we're going to at least go one place where everybody there will be dressed up at least. I did not spend all this money on this costume for folks not to see my costume. So we go to the first party. We realize clubs are expensive now. They charge covers. Bro is like, hey, it's Halloween weekend. It's Halloween weekend. I'm gonna need 50 for you and 50 for your girl. I look at them. I look at my girl. I clutch my pearls. We turn around. We call an Uber back. You feel me? So we step outside and we're heading to the party. And then I'm realizing in my head, this is either going to be a very expensive night or there's going to be some of the most drunkest belligerent people out of all time right now. We went and saw both of them. So by the time we get to the other club, we are walking in. This guy, funny enough, the security guard, he was throwing Batman jokes, and you know I'm a funny guy, so I'm like, hey, I'm Bruce Wayne. I don't know who at this. I don't know why you're trying to act like we. I look at him. He's like, oh, are you here to save the night? Oh, no, he asked me, oh, are you here to save the night? We don't even need my job because you're here. And I looked him in the eye and said, I am willing to punch someone directly in the mouth. So, hey, if you want the time off, let me know. We can split that salary. I promise you can buy drinks. So we get in. It's fun. It's partying. It's cool. I get mad because I'm looking. Ain't not one person not in one costume. I didn't see nobody in a fat man suit. I ain't see no Catwoman, no priest. I ain't see nothing, nada at all. I'm mad. I'm starting to heat up. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I should have predicted it. My friend did tell me, so he's like, fine. Let's go with it. We're standing in the corner of the bar because there's dancing, but there's not. The vibe to dance was not as it should have been. And the reason why, we were feeling an aura just walking around the bar, not walking around the whole club. We didn't know what it was, but we were feeling like something was amiss. My girl goes to the bathroom. She comes out. She tells me, hey, there's like a guy in there trying to get inside the girl's bathroom. The security stops and literally throws him out. So she's like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not going in there. I'm like, you know what? That's very smart. I'm like, you know what? That's just drunk folks being drunk folks. Stay by. We'll be safe, right? My brother in Christ, we were not safe. I feel this man's aura just close by, but not there. I couldn't see him, but I could feel him. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see like a hand doing this. You know what? Out of nowhere, I see a hand doing this. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is that? And I realized bro has his hand inside my girl's face. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, someone's head gotta roll. Someone's head's gotta roll now. And it turns out that he was just trying to shoot his shot. But I'm like, do you know when you have to like, do you know when you have to decipher a situation without it going way, before it really turns bad? You have to really decipher what everything is going down. Because I see one guy, right? One guy, he's like doing this. I'm like batting his hand out the way. But out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, wait a minute. Is this a scare tactic? Do I sense other hands to be thrown around? So I'm like looking to see if this is like, I'm about to turn to Jiraiya before Shippuden really gets going. I'm not trying to get jumped by pain. That's what you feel me? I'm not trying to get jumped in this establishment. I'm looking around. I'm like, oh no, this guy's he's just a weirdo on his own. He's a solo traveling weirdo. I don't know. Bro is just searching the sky trying to find whatever crazy to get into. And my thing about all this, why was that a shot? Do you practice that shot? Is that your go-to move? Come on now, we moving a little crazy. We moving crazy, right? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, if he gets any closer, I'm gonna have to either hit him directly, like here, to try and like loosen up this part of his jaw, or I'm gonna have to just hug him and roll to the ground and then try and like neck lock or whatever. Just wrestle. We gonna have to wrestle WWE this mug. And I'm like, This is not a good idea. I'm in a situation where things are heating up. And then after I hit his hand out the way, he's like putting his hand out again. So I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is crazy. I have my phone in my hand, right? So I'm like, hey, I'll pull it back to like hit his hand out the way this time. When our hands hit, my phone drops. And you know when do you know when deers hear some like someone steps on a branch 100 yards away and they just freeze and just guys are just like looking at each other, just squaring up? It's kind of like in Baki when the two main guys are just looking at each other in the eye like, all right, things are about to go. You could decide what is the wave. And I'm like, you know what? I'm in a Batman suit. I don't got nothing on me. He might got something on me. So I'm like, you know what? I'll take the under. We can just disperse in the situation and I'll just act like nothing crazy is going to happen, right? So I'm like, you know what? You got it. Just go. I'm like, just go. You're good. Just move, right? Because I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm not going to get in a full on just fisticuffs in this random space where I don't see nothing going on. And you know what's funny? I'm trying to do my mental sensory to my homeboys to be like, hey, there's trouble amiss. But I'm outside with the folks that don't be ready to go. That just don't be ready to go. It was y'all know when y'all have like certain friends that you could be like drunk and loose around because you know they're gonna be like there to protect you in a way. Yeah, I have those type of friends, and I have friends not to do it with. I'm around the friends that you don't do that with because in their mind they're gonna call me if things are going crazy. And we can't let that slide, right? So he walks off, and I'm like, you know what? we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. Because of two things are going to happen when this man walks up. Either he's about to walk off and get reinforcement and come back, or he's going to go and bring something to make folks dance. And, I don't want to find either. So after that moment, I'm like, you know what? Hey, yeah, I called an Uber. We just skedaddle. I literally go walk to my friends. Dab, we out. We just peel off because I'm not trying to have nothing crazy happen. Real quick. Does it look like I can fight? I always like to ask people that because it's like, I don't know if I have like I can fight stature, but I think I have a stature where it's like I don't want to find out if I can fight type of things. So yeah, so we peel off, and I'm thinking to myself, I was like, ooh, you know what? I don't think I've ever been as mad in that moment ever. Like the last time I remember being that mad, I was like 10 years old after a whooping, and you're like, ooh, I'm gonna run. Ooh, I swear I'm gonna run away. Oh, I swear it. So I'm like, you know what? I could take two things away from this. I gotta give me a Glock 40. I was thinking, you know what? That mask might need to come out. I'm not gonna lie. I might need to bring me that extendo, or I can learn to fight. And that's where this John comes in right here. So I've been boxing pretty consistently for the past like 3 months, and I have been feeling better, not even so much better, but more in control with a lot in my life, especially ever since I went out my way to actually like starting to learn how to defend myself. And one of the main things I've noticed, the way I stand is just different. Like, you ever been in an argument and you don't flinch? Or actually, no, let me run this back. Have you ever been in an argument and you're just like, your heart starts beating, adrenaline starts like, and it's like, it's kind of fear that just starts creeping in the back of your mind because you know something is going to happen and you don't know if you are able to handle what's going to happen. But for the past like 3 months for me, or at least for the past month specifically, there's been a calm. And to the sense where whatever happens, I know I'm going to be smooth because it's like you could have whatever training in your life. You could do whatever, but I know I will at least get one of them in. And one of the things that I've learned, especially in my life, the vast majority of men, and especially American men, do not know how to use ones and the twos because it's just not a thing that people learn to fight, but they don't really like train themselves into how to fight. Like, majority of people, when they throw a right hook, it's like a telegraphed over or over and under instead of a close in. You feel me? Just something as simple like that, where just knowing how to naturally react to things is a very big aspect into life. It's very beneficial. It's at least very beneficial because like people are missing out on so much of that safety that comes to when you know you can defend yourself. And I don't really want to get a gun or nothing of that nature because I feel like that opens a whole can of worms that I myself don't got the bag or like the sense of reserve to be able to really enter into. And that's why I have loved boxing recently. Another thing that I've like really, really loved, actually, I feel like it's changing my brain chemistry, is learning how to build stuff. Or not even so much build stuff, but it's more so just doing things on my own has been such a sense of relief. I think relief is the best way I could really put into words. Like, hold on, let me bring something out real quick. For a lot of y'all that watch the podcast, one of my favorite jackets that I've bought in the past, like, honestly, 4 to 5 years. Like, in my 5 years of really like buying clothes and really like researching and actually caring about clothing, this might be my favorite pickup ever. It's raggedy, it's old, it's It's worn in. Nah, this mug it's beautiful. It's literally beautiful. I get so much compliments on this jacket from all ages. Like it's crazy. I was at this thrift store and this random like 6-year-old walks up to me and is like, wow, this random 6-year-old walks with me and is like, wow, I love this jacket. They're like, where did you get all these patches? Were you around for da-da-da-da? Did you know this person? It's a great conversation starter. And not even so much for the older people, but when I like go out to like bars and clubs and actually like go out to hang out with friends, I get randomly stopped like, hey, your jacket is tough. It's absolutely tough. And one of the reasons why I like it so much is the fact that it's so like old and worn in. My brother. Some of these patches are from the literal, some of these patches are from the 70s. There's other patches that are from, wait for it, where to go? We have some from the 60s. We have some from the 70s. There's some from the 50s. There's some from the 20s that's on this jacket. So it naturally just falls apart sometimes. And learning how to just restitch some of these, like I've had to restitch, I think like 4 patches. I had to like put together 4 new patches or not new ones. I had to reattach 4 of these old ones, right? And one of the ones I got to do now is this eagle claw one. I don't know what the eagle claw means, but yeah, I'm gonna put this one back together. And there's something about just knowing that you can fix things is such a relief, and it's lovely. And I feel like I'm growing so much as a man, just honestly like a man. Like, wow. Like there's some things. I'm gonna go through the basics and then we're gonna build up from there. Like being able to actively cook for yourself. And being able to like cook for yourself, like for specifically pastas. I have been making some of the greatest pasta for meal prep in my life. Like I want to say that I used to eat out a lot, but one thing I would say, I used to live with my parents still, and every single day I would literally wait for my aunt to like make food because she was like a nationally renowned chef. Like she's probably one of the greatest chefs. She's definitely one of them. If you're from Minnesota, you know who my aunt is. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you are African in Minnesota, you know who my aunt is. That's a better yeah. And I used to get so reliant on her cooking where it's like, oh, if she didn't make anything, well, I mean, I might as well just go run to the store and grab like Taco Bell or go to Olive Garden or like a random hamburger spot or a random Chinese spot instead of just sitting down and just making me my own darn food. Like, I would take breaks from from going to my fridge and going to the store rather than just sitting down and making what's at my door. Like that's like, have you ever, and keep in mind, I had my first big boy job while I was back at home. So I was like making like real genuine money. And also the point where it's like, I mean, I could literally just DoorDash, eat pizzas, eat takeout every single day. It won't even hurt the pockets like crazy. You feel me? But sitting back and being like, you know what? Nah. At least chicken ravioli. At least chicken ravioli. Come on now. Like homemade pizza tastes spectacular. Actually making a burger is usually better than going out to go buy whatever Shake Shack burger you want to eat. And I felt myself just getting healthier and more resourceful, knowing that, hey, I'll just make food at home if it really gets to that point. Because why am I sitting here just constantly wasting hundreds and hundreds of dollars, or not even hundreds of dollars, spending $25 on a meal instead of using that to go get groceries and still get a sweet treat at the end of said groceries to corral that savory and wants, and to Basically the sugar, just to get rid of the sugar craving. There it is. Just to get rid of that craving of sugar that truly I feel like we all have. Like that's like why we are the way. The resourcefulness of trying to learn how to sew, learning how to cook, learning how to like clean efficiently, like cleaning the inside of your dishwasher, like knowing how to get rid of like that smell is really important, because of when I get older, or at least when I want to go purchase a house sooner than later, I want to be able to go inside this house and know if anything breaks. I mean, if I want to, I could pay someone to do it, or I could just sit down and, you know, fix the roof, fix the dishwasher. I don't think I want to touch plumbing or like the wires. I don't think I want to do that, because that's a little scary. I'm not gonna lie, that's so scary. But something as simple as like the couch breaks, or one of the spools on this chair breaks, I should be able to carve out the wood and be able to like be able to fix it that way. Just the feeling of completing something and getting something to its end is very enjoyable for me right now, than just going and obfuscating that task to somebody else to do in my own home. I shouldn't have to call someone to put a tire back onto my car. Something simple like that. You feel me? So yeah, recently I've really loved doing things on my own and actually not having to pay for everything. I think that really what it like boils down to, knowing that I could use these 1 and 2, and not just in this way, but in a handy way also. Yeah. Recently, speaking of these two hands, I have been loving the NBA again. I want to say I took a break from watching basketball, but basketball has gotten to the point where it's like nearly impossible to keep up with what's going on. And let me not even say keep up, to be able to understand what's going on for all these 30 teams. There's 30 teams. Each team gets 82 games. And it's like, what, I'm gonna watch 4 to 6 hours? Starts at 6, ends at midnight sometimes. Because I'm the what's it called? I'm in the Midwest. So it's like sometimes the Lakers games end around midnight for me. And it gets to the point where it's like, I can't. I'm spending 4 to 6 hours every single day to try and keep up with not even too many teams, like 8. Like I'm truly deep diving into 8 to 9 teams. So I'm not even getting the full experience, especially now with the NBA being as deep as it is. You are missing out on so much by just like casually watching here and there. And I'm glad that I finally got that urge, that like, to actually want to keep up with the league, because there's so many new players. Like, there's so many new players, and there's a lot of teams that are, you know what? I'm not even gonna mention. I'm gonna mention the players later. I'm gonna mention the young players later. Yeah, young players later. Let me talk about the fact that there's so much lore now in basketball has really drawn me back into it, because I feel like basketball is like probably one of the greatest dramas that's ever been put to film. Like there's a TikToker that was watching the NBA as if it was an anime, like season by season, as if they're like chapters in an anime or sagas. Yes, they're watching each season as if it's a saga, and when you do that, you will love a lot of the storylines that are going on right now. So one of the recent ones that has really caught my eye and my attention is the fact that Luka got shipped over to Los Angeles on the trade for Anthony Davis. So I've talked about this like 100 times on the impact of the trade, who won, who lost, what are probably going to be the outcomes of this season based off the trades, things of that nature. If you want to watch I have a TikTok that's dedicated all the way towards sports analysis. If you got 2 minutes, each video is like a minute and a half, 2 to 3. Nothing crazy. So what I want to talk about the lore aspect and the storylines that are being built off of just that one trade. So Luka got shipped off to the Lakers in trade for Anthony Davis, and what this does, we've got a chance to see LeBron James play with three different three different players at three different stages of his NBA career. And that's literally... LeBron has played basketball for so long. It's literally greedy. It's so greedy. So these three players have played a significant aspect in LeBron's like NBA career from like 2016 all the way to like, well, now in 2025. And each player has seen LeBron in a different light, and watching it in retrospect has been so interesting to me because of when Kyrie, well, keep in mind, this is also some background for all of you that don't know. LeBron has played with Kyrie, and then he played with Anthony Davis, and now he's playing with Luka Doncic. Three completely different players in three completely different aspects of LeBron's NBA career. And not even to mention, Kyrie Irving was just Luka's teammates. I'm going to talk about Bron first. So we got to see Kyrie and Bron in 2015, 2016, all the way to 2018, because he goes to the Boston Celtics. We saw LeBron at the peak of his powers. Like, sometimes, this is for the young players that are watching some of the young players right now, really cherish a lot of these moments before that they've truly matured and evolved into their final, or at least their most powerful form of a player, because you realize how absolutely, like, not so much goated, but like great and talented and goatish that a lot of these players are. So seeing LeBron at his peak of his athletic powers, like jump, get your head to the rim and then dunk it, LeBron, is when Kyrie Irving was playing. And this is around when he starts being able to shoot threes, but it's not as good. But the reason why it's not as good is literally because he's so athletic that shooting threes just logically does not make sense in context of what's going on in the game. Let me explain. If you ever get a chance to watch a LeBron James highlight when he was on the Miami Heat or Cleveland, or like the end years of Cleveland LeBron, bro, when I tell you, bro used to in and out, one dribble and just dunk on your center. In and out, one dribble and dunk on two centers. And it got to the point where teams, their best bet was to trying to build a wall against a guy like LeBron. But the problem with trying to build a wall, you kind of lose track of everybody else on the team. And if you lose track of a player, of players that are literally designed to cut, to shoot, and to dunk, well, you're about to give up 60 points by accident. You will give up 15 to a guy like Schroeder, 10 to a guy like J.R. Smith, a couple to a guy like Dion Waiters, and just on and on and on.